to have our national anthem. Do we have that already queued, please? Let's have our nice for our Nigerian. All right, are we ready? So like I said to you, she shut down that store that she had opened, the second store, and she came back to the first one. And then we started this work of building structure in that business. Do you realize one thing I found very interesting during the course of my work with this person was that she was doing everybody else's work. Even though she had hired people to support her in the business, Madam will still come in the morning. She's the one still checking the shelves to see which drugs are near aside to that person. So we began to work on her staffing. She has arranged different people around her that don't even have the skill set to support her. So ultimately, she comes to work. She still gets to do the work. The second thing that she was doing was she prided herself in the fact that, oh, I'm not one of those business owners that don't know their numbers. I do my numbers. My numbers are on point. I said, oh, that's fantastic. I love it. I said, so how do you do that? She said, when I get home, I balance the books. I do this, I do that. I said, oh, so the work continues when you get home. You will be overwhelmed. So I told her, I said, you are not doing your work. Go and didn't have time to even go and find the right kind of space where she can open a store where there will be the right traffic and footfall and all of that. I said, you will not have time because you are doing every other person's work. So by the time we designed the new organizational structure, everything you've been doing before, you are going to stop it. So we designed the job description for every other person in the business. And then she came to me, she said, so what will I now be doing? I said, you will ask me that question because you've been doing every other person's work. You've not been doing CEO work. You've not been doing the work of growing your business, of finding business relationships that can help you. They forget about it. Creativity needs cash flow. And one of the biggest myths in the creative space is, I'm not good with numbers. I must say to you, you can't scale what you don't measure. You need to know your overhead costs per month. You need to know your overhead costs per month. You need to know what your cash flow cycle is. I can say to you easily, and those of you that are already here can tell me, the average payment cycle for most people within the real estate and design, because the cash flow is not coming in. Meanwhile, money is leaving you. Cash flow is not coming in. Meanwhile, money is leaving you every day. Number 3 thing that I'm going to is well-grounded and a foundation that is solid. Think also of having a board of advisor for your business. I'm sure you know that you don't know everything. And for many of us that are great at our design and our art, but we are not good on the business side of things, surround yourself with wise heads. Surround yourself with people that are good with numbers. People that can look at your numbers and tell you something is wrong here, and they can quickly point it out to you. Surround yourself with people that are great in other ways that can complement your own areas of weakness. That is what helps you to build. Round up by saying that most consistent. Your clients pay for peace of mind, not just design. They want to know that you can deliver when you say you will deliver, because you have processes that work. You have processes and systems that you can leverage that allows you to take on multiple projects and you're still able to deliver. So as we celebrate the vibrant community of design business founders, let's also challenge ourselves to build businesses that really truly last. Businesses that are not really just driven by our own passion. Businesses that are not feeding off the energy that comes out of our passion, but businesses that are feeding off a system that runs whether you are in the room or not. So my challenge here for you today is build a business that can stand without you, create systems that can serve beyond you, and design not just spaces, but build a legacy that really truly lasts. Thank you so much for having me. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Your session is amazing. Thank you. I hope they can hear me. Give your business a structure.
take to access projects? What systems do you take to onboard the clients as they come? If you do everything from A to Z, you are the structure or you are the system. And the day you don't show up to do what you do, then nothing gets done. So when I talk about structure, it is how you even run the operations of the business, your operational structure. From the point where we get the deal and we assess the deal, what does that process look like? Is it documented? Can somebody else do it other than you? Because if it is not documented, meaning you know it like this, you can always do it even in your sleep, but nobody else can do it other than you. You need to document that process. Your system is the accumulation of the different processes that run within your organization. And when I say processes now, I've talked about your marketing process, the process by which you get your clients in. After you've gotten the client, how do you onboard those clients? After you've done that, how do you execute the project? What are the different stages of your project execution? Does everything rely on you? Are you the only one that knows all the suppliers? How do you even source the credible suppliers? Are you the only one that they can talk to? You have 10 clients. They are calling only you. Nobody else can attend to them. So when you think about your operational structure, it's also the combination of the processes that your business undergoes on a daily basis that helps you to get things done. There's also your financial structure. How do you account for your transactions? How do you capture your transactions in your books? How do you record them? When you take on a project, right? And some of my clients are falling into this challenge. When you take on a project and the project is, say, 20 million. Meanwhile, you know that of the 20 million, what you've done is cost plus markup, right? So you give an invoice to your client, 20 million. Client pays 20 million into your account. When the tax man wants to assess you to tax, they will say, bring your bank statement. They saw where 20 million entered. They slam you tax on 20 million. Meanwhile, 20 million is not your own money. Maybe your own margin on top is 2.5, right? But the way you've gone ahead to recognize that transaction in your books suggests that your revenue is 20 million. Meanwhile, 17.5 million is cost for raw materials, for artisans, for supplies, for this and for that. So your financial structure also speaks to how do you account for your financial transaction? How do you keep your books of account? How do you manage your cash flows? How do you manage your debtors, the people that are owing you? There are times you don't even know how much is owed until you go to the bank and you realize there's no money there. All of a sudden you wake up and you realize these are the different areas. I don't know if I have all the time, to go into all of this, but there are different areas of the business. When we talk about structure, it's holistic, but these are all the different areas of your business. How do you maintain relationship with your suppliers? How do you manage your people? There is also your HR structure. Your hiring and firing processes is a structure. How do you build culture within your organization? That's part of your HR structure. So when we talk about structure, it's holistic and it's all-encompassing. And until you get things right across all these pillars, you'll find that one area not doing well can ultimately affect the entire piece that you're building. I hope that answers your question.
I'm sure it does.
Do we have any other one? I think there's somebody's hand there.
That's all we can take for now.
Okay. See me after the service.
Yes, see after the service.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Please, a warm round of applause. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us as we welcome an extraordinary woman, a visionary leader shaping the future of sustainable cities and climate innovation in Africa. Titi Oshodi serves as the special. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us as we welcome an extraordinary woman, a visionary leader shaping the future of sustainable cities and climate innovation in Africa. Titi Oshodi serves as the special advisor to the governor of Lagos State on climate change and circular economy. In this pivotal role, she is driving Lagos's bold transition to a zero-carbon, climate-resilient economy by the year 2050. Her work is nothing short of transformative. She is championing initiatives that will position Lagos as Africa's first subnational carbon market hub, a testament to her forward-thinking leadership and commitment to a greener, more sustainable Africa. One of her landmark projects, the 80 Million Clean Cook Stove Initiative, is the world's largest Article 6.4 compliant clean energy effort. This groundbreaking program aims to distribute 80 million clean cook stoves across Nigeria, including 8 million right here in Lagos, generating 1.2 million carbon credits annually and unlocking over $1 billion in green finance. Beyond the numbers, this project is transforming lives, improving public health, and empowering thousands of women and youth-led enterprises. Through EcoNexus and the Economy Business Network, TT continues to nurture an ecosystem of over 500 eco-enterprises, fostering innovation, collaboration, and economic inclusion. With a background in marketing, communication, and sustainable development, TT is also a passionate advocate for gender-inclusive climate leadership. She promotes policies that create economic opportunities for women and youth, championing a future where sustainability and social impact go hand in hand. Her dedication to ethical leadership, youth empowerment, and public-private partnerships makes her not just a thought leader, but a change maker for a new generation. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, put your hands together, and welcome our keynote speaker, a trailblazer, a visionary, and an inspiration to us all.
Morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Who is that? I was watching the screen and I was wondering, how did you put that together? Thank you so much for that warm, and I'm even inspired by myself, you know. Thank you so much. And I want to apologize for coming in late. In Lagos State and in public sector, every day is work day. So we've had, two different events that we were summoned, and then when we have a long retinue of activities, the governor would have to put the people who can be there, especially if the competences are within the public servants or the public figures. And when I do come in, I will spend as much time as possible so that I can immerse myself in the world of interior decoration and, by extension, in the construction industry. And it's really profound also to understand that there is a huge sustainability component within this industry, and that there is a dearth of information that still needs to be reenacted or to be revealed as we continue. So that we can also begin to look at the sustainability in running a business from a cost management perspective. So I'm not, in contrary to how I have been introduced to talk about women empowerment, gender equality, clean energy, I think today will be more premised upon cost management, facility management, regenerative finance within the industry of interior decoration and design, and how circular economy is even one of the very, very transformative aspects that you are overlooking in leaving money on the table. So I'm hoping that we will be able to get a few nuggets, from this keynote. So it's going to be, I'm going to be reading it, but I'm also going to be giving some practical, examples so that they become more tangible for you, and, you can relate as you continue in your journey in this industry. So distinguished guests, creative minds, innovators, and design change makers, good morning. A pleasure to be among innovators and dreamers who shape how people live, work, and feel. You are the artists who transform empty spaces into experiences. And our theme today, Beyond Creativity, Growing Profitable and Scalable Interior Design Businesses, is an invitation to dream bigger, to take your crafts beyond beauty, and build legacies that stand the test of time. So we're going to take a short journey back into time. In the olden days, our ancestors didn't have fancy catalogs. They didn't have imported materials. Yet they built spaces that were functional, beautiful, and sustainable. They used bamboo, raffia, clay, and wood, resources that they found around them. Houses were naturally cool. Furnitures lasted for decades, and nothing was wasted. Every piece had a purpose and a story. That was sustainability, long before we began to use the word, before we got understanding of it in itself. Then came the age of modernization and industrial design. But so did consumption. We began to design for trends, not timelessness. Furniture became cheaper because the market proliferated that sense of intentionality. And it's not to say that modernization come full circle and full cycle, and that we have to start being intentional about making production or manufacturing with the end in view. The beautiful part, as we stand at this new crossroad, one that demands that we rethink. We need to start to rethink creativity and innovate with purpose. So the question is no longer how beautiful is this? The question is how sustainable is this? Not can we sell it once, because that is what the linear economy is fundamentally about. But can it live again? Can we resuscitate it? Can we regurgitate it? Can we revitalize it? This is where circular economy becomes a game changer. The circular economy teaches us to design with the end in mind, to imagine how materials can be reused, refurbished, or reimagined after their first purpose. We begin to transform waste into wealth and creativity into continuity. And the beautiful part is that you interior designers are at the center of this transformation. That you begin to choose sustainable materials when you reuse, when you refurbish, and you repurpose, because you're not just saving the planet, you're building a more profitable, scalable business model. So we have what we call the 5 pillars in the Office of Climate Change and Circular Economy. And the 5 pillars are predominantly around people development, commerce, regenerative finance, data, and policy. In this side of town, sustainability is gradually moving away from being a buzzword to becoming the ingredient for marking and benchmarking indicators for performance, even in boardrooms. They're beginning to call people who understand how to be able to create design processes and systems that can regenerate by themselves. So, learning in climate literacy, knowledge in climate is becoming the basis for expertise. So knowledge cutting across every sector. For the sector of interior decoration and design, you are so accessible to so many things right now that has become the alternative options for the first world countries. Stuff like water hyacinth, stuff like bamboo, stuff like palms, the palm trees, stuff like even seaweed are beginning to go through processes of science and technology that they become the essence not only for learning, but also for climate finance. These are the options that the global north, the industrialized economies, are beginning to tilt towards to attract the reduction in the carbon emission that everybody is beginning to work towards. And it's more important that I'm using the word climate finance, because what it means is that we're not going to be motivated only by the altruism of going back to Earth, but also we're motivated and we're encouraged that we can develop our economic landscape as an emerging economy because of what we're innately endowed with. So we're endowed with the things that the people who are industrialized require for them to be able to mitigate climate impact and action. All over Lagos, we're seeing this shift. Local artisans are turning to craft timeless pieces. Some are building entire brands around eco-consciousness. And guess what? People are beginning to pay attention. Consumers are no longer just buying products. They're buying stories, they're buying purpose, they're buying values. Of these bottles on them, let me burst your bubble. Those guys make a minimum of 500K per month. Stories of them saving money and then eventually traveling. It's because right now the government is beginning to look for ways to formalize and infuse as much dignity into expand the scope and the net so that we can create technology and innovations that can drive efficiency.
Registered in the name of this business? Or is it that every time you want to spend money, you spend the business money for your personal needs? You want to buy water in the house, that's when you remember, call your PA, transfer money from the account to Pure Water people. You have to understand financial discipline. For you to get proper loan from a bank, a commercial bank, banks will be asking for 3 years history, financial history. 3 years financial history is from the time that account is opened. What have you done with that bank account? Have you expended your expenditure? Is it from that bank account?
I was going to say they've done all the heavy lifting, but that's a good question. So I Invest is a product of Pathian Partners. So the Pathian Partners Group is a group of financial institutions, investment banking, funds and portfolio management, and then brokerage. So financial literacy is a passion of ours. So we always want to engage with creatives, with business owners, because part of the business, you need to have your personal asset, because like to your personal account, and then investing for the business. You're investing in the name of the business. So for instance, we'll have somebody that uses their corporate account. So you set up a, so you now make a little bit more on that cash. So those are some of the things that you need to start thinking of as an individual, as a business owner. So personally, like I start saving my rent and I lock it in the app. So that money might be complete 2 months before my rent is due. I won't pay my landlord until that day that I need to pay him, because in finance, there's time value of money. Money today is more valuable than money you receive in future because of interest. And every day that you don't have that.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So I just wanted to add something on that. Having assets in your name, in your business name, also allows you to leverage that financial institutions, microfinance banks, finance houses, asset managers, private equity funds. There are financial institutions that will give you cash, they'll give you money on the back of the assets you own. So people do this with bonds, especially. The people that have bonds will repo their bonds. They will give, when they return the cash, they'll return your money to your bond to you. So having assets actually allows you to leverage.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so I'll go straight to Mr. Wale. Oh, Wale. So many designers are afraid of taking loans. What strategies for managing and repaying loans without drowning in debt? And do you even think we should take loans, or what's your take on loans?
Loan is not evil. Ignorance is evil. Let me say that again. Loan is not evil. Ignorance is evil. It's ought. I can't hear you. Say it. Listen. Where debt is bad is when you are lavish. That is where the problem is. Look, the rich people that buy expensive things, it's okay for you to finance your lifestyle. There is no issue with financing your lifestyle. You have seen that Maybach and it looks nice on you and your husband. Finance it. There's nothing wrong with it. But you are going to be financing it when your business is stable and is doing good numbers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Take. Most times, when you have a project that you are working on, you don't necessarily have to use your money to finance that project. There are organizations like mine waiting for you to walk up to us to say, oh, I have this invoice. It's 3 billion. It's 2 billion. I need to finance it. Every bank will be happy to jump on that. But nobody will be happy to jump on extravagance or a business without history or a business with a chaotic CEO. You understand what I mean by chaotic? You are owing Ezekiel. You are owing I Invest. You are owing everybody. And then you are now coming to me. I will make sure you have. Are you getting what I'm saying? Sit down. Have a structure like the earlier speaker said. What is your structure for your human resource and for your finance? Have a plan for your finance. Again, debt is not bad. Loan is not a bad. As a matter of fact, any business that is not running on facility, that's what I'm saying. Live within your.
Educate more on the things that people need to get. Because I think that's another problem where people have get now. Put your books in order and start building towards that, because that's the only way we can scale.
Documentation comes with trust. I think it was a year and a half ago. And the lady we were talking to, apparently we found that she doesn't even live in Nigeria. And we are talking of something in the excess of over 500 million naira. So we asked the chief operating officer that normally comes to the office, where's the CEO? Who is collecting this money? She's going to come today. She's going to come tomorrow. She will come tomorrow. Later, they later told us she leaves. No, she's doing a course in the UK. By the time we did our investigation, she had relocated. And you want to collect contract of 500 million. Trust. Integrity. So you need you would have built some level of credence with the bank. Are you people following me? When you want to get a loan, no matter how small that loan is, you have to start small first. Take a loan of 1 million, pay back. Take a loan of 2 million, pay back. Take a loan of 3 million, pay back. Now you have history. By the time we go online, when my guys go online to check your credibility with the bureau, we can see that this person is not owing. She has been collecting.
I can pay back 20% if 20% is the cost of that capital. You understand? So you have to think about what's the cost of capital and what's the rate at which I can grow. So start, talk to your bank. Some of you need to go and sit down with your bank and say, look, this is my growth plan. I might be needing 500 million from you 5 years from now. What should I be doing now? How should I be running my accounts with you? Many of you at the beginning take small money, 1 million, 2 million, without.
Ijo oh yeah, money my do oh yeah. And if you know the girl like a get pooch, Modupa, Olua, yeah. Joy is coming, joy is coming. Dupa, Olua, yeah. Joy is coming, only early in the morning. Dupa, Olua.
So yes, that is because the art of any. Thank you, Dr. Jennifer. You're familiar? Okay, so LG Thank You is an app you can just download from your App Store, your Google Play Store. You integrate it to your washing machines, your ACs, your refrigerators, and you can control it from anywhere. You are in the office, You can put off your ACs. You can check out even just from the convenience of your mobile. Then also for large projects, we have solutions for that. And then even for production lines, factories, we have a building management system. So this one is like a total management solution. From your PC, you can control every single thing, which is it's all hosted on our Beacon cloud server. Beacon is building energy control. It's an LG cloud server for managing appliances, managing controls, automations, and all of that. From AC solutions to building management solutions, even down to total management solutions, LG is with you all the way. And LG Electric is not just about selling products. Yes, we also care about the environment. Right. Yes, so if you can see a few of our performances over the years from the environment, because in Asia, particularly even South Korea, ladies don't head board of directors and all of that. They don't lead. But LG Electronics took the first step in appointing a female director in 2020. I think it deserves a clap now. Clap. Even though it's late, but we are still the first. So please clap, clap. Thank you very much. Then also, around our medal, there's no point going through all of these certifications, right? Then this leads us into our product lineup. Now, I would love for us to go through the products one by one, but because of time, we won't be doing that, right? We have an academy at VI where we give trainings and we give better understanding of our products and how they fit into your interior design spaces, right? Labs all over the world. We have academies too, not just in Lagos, but all over the world, in every continent. So we have tools that we use in aiding our design processes, right? Because LG is all about life being good, innovation for a better life, making life easy, right? So instead of going through all the stress of bringing out calculators and doing all of those, right? LG have tools, we possess tools that help with design processes, right? Then simulate how much of energy consumption your ACs is going to be consuming. Yes, we have solutions for that. Even from your ThinQ app that I mentioned earlier, you can monitor energy consumption on that. Then we also have the computational fluid dynamics analysis. See how the heat moves from your ACs. Maybe you're keeping the AC at the back of your house. Okay, what will be the effect over time? What will be the effect on my glasses? What will be the effect on the... All of that can be very much simulated. Then... 100% support because we have a field engineering team here in Nigeria and we cover the whole of West Africa and Central Africa also. Does Cameroon, DR Congo. Yes, we cover regions like that at no cost because our priority is making sure that our customers, right, are enjoying the best of our products. Now, I must mention, all these things I'm talking about is not for every LG product, though. It is for our commercial products, the products that fall under our commercial line. So you won't come tomorrow and say, but you mentioned that you support blah, 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 blah. And then I have my AC in my house and nobody's coming. Please, this is just for our commercial products. And yes,
Thank you for that insightful speech. Next, we're going to have Dulux. they do so you can know how to collaborate with them. So please, a round of applause for our sponsors.
All right, thank you. Thank you all. We are from Chemical and Allied Products PLC, Applause, and Hempel Paint. So I just want to talk to us today on the coating system. Okay, why it is very important that we understand the coating system. I have a few outlines that I want to focus on. The first one talks about the coating industry. And in the coating industry, I just want you to see that beyond decorative paints, we also have paints for original equipment manufacturers, talking about auto coatings. We have coatings for transportation, coatings for wood finishes, and also it needs decoration. Or in some cases, you want to achieve so recommended for paint application. Conventionally, we have face preparation, okay? And also the use of the right tools, applying to the right system. You discover that your paint needs to adhere to your surface. And in adhering, it becomes highly durable on the wall. Then you need to achieve a smooth and professional finish at the end of the day. Then there is also the case of resistance against weather elements, talking about UV in sunlight against weather elements, talking about UV in sunlight and STEM. So we're talking about the number of layers and all. Are the flagship brands that we have under this group. We have the Carplus Trading Filler, which is used to smooth over your surface. We have is a pre-mixed mixture already, and it is ready to encourage us that for every quotation you get, ask yourself, what is the system this painter is recommending? It might not just be right for that project. It's always good that you understand that for systems, it's a layer of products or paint you put together in thin layers. You know, painters want to paint a heavy layer of paint on your wall. It's a wrong practice. Paint is applied in thin layers for better performance. So we need to ensure the system is executed with an eye for excellence, consistency, and adherence to standards and manufacturer's instruction. Okay, project completion is not measured by how fast it was completed, but how well it was executed to perfection. So we all have that responsibility, all costs. So it's our responsibility and for us to achieve a better finish. At this point, I say thank you for listening.
come up. Please come up. Please come up.
No matter what you do, people them must. Even if they
Let her come out. Let her come out. Anything can be singing, dancing. I pray that the days would next stay wind so bright. My ears and sting my eyes. Let's Spanish lullaby.
You can get one. You can get one or two for a few friends, for family members. The uniqueness of Uzo Living is that it is faith inspired. So you're not sure what the bottle you're going to pick. There's a word there for you. So go and get your word.
Elon Musk c'est pas Bluetooth, ouais. Una Tesla key, pulling up in the Tesla toy. No bitch boy, see, no good day. First day looking, no good day. Charlie Poppy, I walk on you. Too many, I will fly all day. Inside that your area, so another area day. Inside that your area. Another area day. Inside that your area, so another area day. Inside that your area. Another area day. Inside body sell almost west. Para de body, BTC de body, money de body. All this sell almost west. Para de body, BTC de body, money. It's the remix of the remix. You know the steez. Broken and beast. A back like Tesla, got the keys. I star. I smoke. I puff and pass. I puff and pass. I puff and pass. I puff and pass. I puff and pass.
And we want to say a big thank you to all our sponsors. LG Electronics. Their stand is just right behind me here. Alumax. Thank you. Beveledge Design, thank you. Deluxe Paint, thank you. And for anyone here who is looking to expand and grow their interior design business, there's a school for you. Jenny's School of African Interior Design. If you would like to sign up, you can ask for Mrs. Memona or Ibukun to guide you through. If you'd like to be a part of Jenny's School of African Interior Designs to improve your skills and learn how to build a profitable and scalable design business. This is the Blueprint Conference 2025 edition.
At Jenny School of African Interior Design, we don't just teach interior design, we're raising a generation of African interior design entrepreneurs.
Being here has absolutely changed my life. I now have the skills and the confidence to bring my ideas to life.
Our curriculum is globally recognized, practical, and tailored to give you real-world interior design experience.
Alors là, ça, nous sommes là sur une table de planche d'inspiration. En fait, ça, en anglais, c'est appelé mood board, mais en français, c'est appelé planche d'inspiration. Pourquoi une planche d'inspiration? Ça te donne un peu...
At Jenny School of African Interior Design, we don't just teach interior design, we're raising a generation. At Jenny School of African Interior Design, we don't just teach interior design, we're raising a generation of African interior design entrepreneurs.
Being here has absolutely changed my life. I now have the skills and the confidence to bring my ideas to life.
Our curriculum is globally recognized, practical, and tailored to give you real-world interior design experience.
Alors là, ça, nous sommes là sur une table de planche d'inspiration. En fait, ça, en anglais, c'est appelé mood board, mais en français, c'est appelé planche d'inspiration. Pourquoi une planche d'inspiration? Ça te donne un peu, ça te projette dans le projet que tu devrais faire pour ton client.
From your very first inquiry, we make sure your journey with us is smooth, supportive, and inspiring.
Our role is to mentor, inspire, and prepare you to thrive in the interior design industry, both locally and globally.
Your interior design journey starts now. Enroll now at Jenny School of African Interior Design. We can't wait to have you. At Jenny School of African Interior Design, we don't just teach interior design, we're raising a generation of African interior design entrepreneurs.
Being here has absolutely changed my life. I now have the skills and the confidence to bring my ideas to life.
Our curriculum is globally recognized, practical, and tailored to give you real-world interior design experience.
Alors là, nous sommes là sur une table de planche d'inspiration. En fait, ça, en anglais, c'est appelé mood board, mais en français, c'est appelé planche d'inspiration. Pourquoi une planche d'inspiration? Ça te donne un peu, ça te projette dans le projet que tu devrais faire pour ton client.
From your very first inquiry, we make sure your journey with us is smooth, supportive, and inspiring.
Our role is to mentor, inspire, and prepare you to thrive in the interior design industry, both locally and globally.
Your interior design journey starts now. Enroll now at Jenny School of African Interior Design. We can't wait to have you. At Jenny School of African Interior Design, we don't just teach interior design, we're raising a generation of African interior design entrepreneurs.
Being here has absolutely changed my life. I now have the skills and the confidence to bring my ideas to life.
Our curriculum is globally recognized, practical, and tailored to give you real-world interior design experience.
Alors là, nous sommes là sur une table de planche d'inspiration. En fait, ça, en anglais, c'est appelé mood board, mais en français, c'est appelé planche d'inspiration. Pourquoi une planche d'inspiration? Ça te donne un peu, ça te projette dans le projet que tu devrais faire pour ton client.
From your very first inquiry, we make sure your journey with us is smooth, supportive, and inspiring.
Our role is to mentor, inspire, and prepare you to thrive in the interior design industry, both locally and globally.
Your interior design journey starts now. Enroll now at Jenny School of African Interior Design. We can't wait to have you. At Jenny School of African Interior Design, we don't just teach interior design, we're raising a generation of African interior design entrepreneurs.
Being here has absolutely changed my life. I now have the skills and the confidence to bring my ideas to life.
Our curriculum is globally recognized, practical, and tailored to give you real-world interior design experience.
Alors là, nous sommes là sur une table de planche d'inspiration. En fait, ça, en anglais, c'est appelé mood board, mais en français, c'est appelé planche d'inspiration. Pourquoi une planche d'inspiration? Ça te donne un peu, ça te projette dans le projet que tu devrais faire pour ton client.
From your very first inquiry, we make sure your journey with us is smooth, supportive, and inspiring.
Our role is to mentor, inspire, and prepare you to thrive in the interior design industry, both locally and globally.
Your interior design journey starts now. Enroll now at Jenny School of African Interior Design. We can't wait to have you. At Jenny School of African Interior Design, we don't just teach interior design, We're raising a generation of African interior design entrepreneurs.
Being here has absolutely changed my life. I now have the skills and the confidence to bring my ideas to life.
Our curriculum is globally recognized, practical, and tailored to give you real-world interior design experience.
Alors là, nous sommes là sur une table de planche d'inspiration. En fait, ça, en anglais, c'est appelé mood board, mais en français, c'est appelé planche d'inspiration. Pourquoi une planche d'inspiration? Ça te donne un peu, ça te projette dans le projet que tu devrais faire pour ton client.
From your very first inquiry, we make sure your journey with us is smooth, supportive, and inspiring.
Our role is to mentor, inspire, and prepare you to thrive in the interior design industry, both locally and globally.
Your interior design journey starts now. Enroll now at Jenny School of African Interior Design. We can't wait to have you.
For your time. There's been trainings, entertainment, and now we're having lunch. So all of that, beautiful experiences. Thank you so much for being here. If you were not here, the tables and chairs will be empty and we'll be doing all of this to ourselves. So thank you. A very warm round of applause to each and every one of you. A round of applause for yourself. Okay, information reaching me now says we're moving to panel 3. So we're going to have the third panel session first. Okay. Okay. For our third panel, they'll be speaking on the topic, monetizing your creativity. Smart revenue models for designers. This is very specific. They'll be speaking to the topic. The panel I'm about to call now, which is our third panel session, we'll be speaking to the topic, monetizing your creativity. Smart revenue models for designers. And we have some very wonderful persons here who will be doing justice to that topic. Can we put our hands together for Sandra Edoho? Thank you. She's the creative director, Viva Bella. Ushers, please, let's have the mics on stage. She's the creative director of Viva Bella Designs, an international award-winning designer who blends architecture, interior designs, and modern luxury. She shows how designs and craftsmanship can command global respect. Another round of applause for her. Next, we have Mrs. Daisy Smith. Founder, Daisy Smith Studio, formerly co-founder of Gemona West Interiors. Her work spans continent, Brazil, UK, Nigeria, with multiple international property awards to her name. She represents cultural diversity and global excellence in design. Another round of applause. Thank you for joining us on this panel. Next, we have Mr. Ahmed Rabi. Please put your hands together for him. Egyptian designer, CEO, Atrium Design, and president of African Designers Hub, Egypt. He's known for merging energy sciences with interior designs, a fascinating approach to harmony and wellness in spaces. His presence expands the conversation beyond borders, creativity at a continental scale. Another round of applause for him. Thank you so much for joining us. We're glad to have you. Next, we have Mrs. Zainab. Is Mrs. Zainab here? Okay, so let's have our moderator. 1 minute, please. Folakemi. Okay. She was supposed to do. All right. So let's have Mrs. Folakemi. Miss Folakemi, please. She'll be moderating panel 3, okay? It happens. Sometimes things have to move around to adjust, and we are glad to move. We are flexible. All right, so I'll be handing the mic over to Ms. Folakemi to moderate this panel session. So Ms. Folakemi is Ms. Folakemi Oloye, founder of Teal Harmony, Teal Culture, and the Furniture Showcase, an award-winning interior designer with Harvard Executive Education experience. You need to clap for that. She redefines African luxury with intention and elegance. Please put your hands together as I hand the mic over to her to moderate this beautiful session. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. We will go. Do you guys still want to stay with this crowd? You're sure? Okay, so hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you all for your time, and thank you for joining us. So today we're going to be talking about monetizing your creativity, and really, I'm sure a lot of us already know what that means. And it's majorly about the fact that as interior designers, a lot of us start from a passion point of view. And I think majorly with the Nigerian and African context, most interior designers didn't necessarily start from the education path, which is you went to have a BSc and decided from university that you were going to study interior design. Most people started from, I found out that I was talented in this, I'm super creative, and that is where it started from. But the question then is, moving past that, once we've now identified that we have this skill and that we're talented, how do we then make sure that we turn it into a proper profession? And that's the conversation that we're going to be having here today. With us on stage is Mr. Ahmed Rabi. I pronounced that right? Yes. Yes, Ahmed Rabi is the leader of the Egyptian Interior Designers Association. Please, let's give him a round of applause. And I think it's also very good for us to be able to have different context as opposed to just us focusing on the Nigerian context. What that does for us is to give us a different view and whatever opportunities exist so that we then come together and come up with something that is super amazing. And obviously, you guys have already had introductions from our other panelists, Sandra and Daisy. So we're going to have an interesting conversation today. And the first question is going to be talking about, and this is going to Daisy. So for Daisy, the question is, at what point did you realize that creativity alone was not enough and you decided that it was time to turn it into a business? So this would be just giving us like a quick, journey. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Good afternoon, everyone. I love the question, but I have to actually share the answer into two phases. Because obviously I've started my former studio about now 11 years ago. And then, yes, the passion was there, but making money was always part of the plan. So I won't lie to that. So, but the thing is, how do you make money? And then I started studying and looking how people are doing abroad, how they are doing in Nigeria. And then I fell into this same trap I feel now, charging and executing projects the same way everybody does in here, which is not wrong because there are two ways. And I've been talking about that a lot in the past year or so. It's not wrong, it's just different. There are two ways to charge. But when I left my former studio, I left because I felt that not only I wanted to, target a specific niche in the markets, and then I also wanted to monetize more. So I didn't leave to do the same thing. I left to do completely different. So I had to go back and look, okay, what are other ways to do it? And then how can I monetize my time, not just my creativity? It was all about my time. So every single thing I'm doing is about how can I monetize the time that I'm spending on this particular project. So like I said, there are two phases that, I had to look into, but it was never a point like, oh, I'm going to live out of creativity. No, I want to make money. So I want to be recognized for, the work that I put into there. And everybody wants to also, build a beautiful life and future and then, retire at some point. But yes, like I said, it was at that point that I had to look like how to, I think it was this past year and a half, it's been 2 years since I opened this new studio. And then the first 6 months I spent, I was like, okay, this is not really working. It's like the way I was doing before, like how do I do differently? And I had to really do a deep research on the international markets to see, okay, how are they doing? And then why you are not doing here? And then once I changed that, it was a completely boom. Like, honestly, I understood how the business really works. And then people say, oh, this way does not work in Nigeria. Now I can tell you, I've been doing that for a year and a half, and it does work, definitely.
Awesome. So I love that you said that there are two ways to approach it, right? So I want to take you back to, this would be 11 years ago. So 11 years ago, and this is majorly focused to people that are maybe just starting out, maybe you're 1 or 2 years into the business. So if we go back to 11 years ago, and this will be the first studio here in Nigeria, at what point did you move from passion to making money? Then you decided that, you know what, I'm done with this, it's time to turn this into a proper business.
I knew the passion was there, but I said, okay, if I'm going to go into this business, I need to go and learn about it. So I actually went back to school. I had a full-time job, which is a completely different industry. And I decided to go back to school and really learn interior design, from introduction of interior design all the way to, the technical parts of it. And then also, I think that's the knowledge of the business of interior design really came in this past 2 years. So the passion starts, okay, I was working, I had a different job, and then I loved the passion, and then I said, okay, you can make real money in this business. So, but how do you do it? Because a lot of things you said, like a lot of people, especially then, they did not really value creativity. There was not really structure. There was a lot of people doing things for free. There's a lot of people doing designs for free. So that's one thing that abroad was already very developed, that the interior design, but in Nigeria it wasn't. So it was a struggle to charge, even though I know, okay, I want to value my time, I know what I can deliver and all of that. I'm not even talking about execution. I'm talking about design itself. It was a struggle, but even though I was charging the way I charge today, I was still charging. And then when you start as well, you sometimes take because you're so eager to at least do something, show what I can do. But sometimes you actually shoot yourself and value your time and then your creativity and all of that. I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, you have. Yes. Okay, so this will go to Sandra. Okay. So Sandra, this question is around monetizing your creativity. And, Daisy said something that I think it's beginning to change, but a few years ago, it wasn't necessarily that. And what that means is that the industry sort of like celebrated more of like the amount of time you were putting into the job as opposed to the level of creativity that was coming into it. And so the value of interior design in terms of as a design skill and not necessarily as a project management skill was not necessarily as rewarded. So my question to you is, based on your own personal journey today, how do you think that we can monetize creativity?
Hi, everyone. Monetizing creativity simply means making money from your, what you know how to do, which is design. There's so many ways. One, providing a service. If you want to go service-based, giving a design consultation or, project management and stuff like that. So as a designer, for me, I want to personalize based on my practice. Like we provide various phases of services for projects that we do. So first of all, there's a site visitation, which we charge for. There's the consultation, which we charge for. And then you have the design phase, which is the concept development, mood board, and all of that. And like they're rightfully saying, I think it's just recently that interior designers in Nigeria have been able to kind of get a grasp of how you can make money from interior design. Sorry, guys, I have stage fright, so I'm literally GT.
No, but you're doing amazing.
So
we won't know.
Right. So I think it's a kind of recent thing where we're becoming comfortable. We're actually charging for our skills and the service that we give. So that's a way that an interior designer can obviously monetize their creativity. Another way could be through something that is happening now, like content creation and, monetizing your social media. Creating content around what you know, your knowledge and your skills. Apart from that, obviously positioning you as a master in your craft, it also gives, other people who are willing to learn and are not ready to, pay an interior designer. It gives them the opportunity to maybe, pay you if you have an online portal where your content creation can be like a subscription-based, plan or structure. So you get payments from there as well. Other ways can be, through ebooks, e-courses, going for talks like this, and maybe a product like decor, accessories. There's so many ways, like going into retail. So monetizing your creativity is not just one way. You probably need to define or find out what you know how to do best and know how to kind of like plan and structure it in such a way that you are providing a solution that somebody is willing to pay for.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. So this question is for Ahmed.
To become an interior designer. And my goal now, interior design. For interior design, if you want to make money, my advice, travel. As much as you can, travel. Because when you travel, as Dizzy, she traveled here and she get new opportunity in Nigeria. That's true. I have a lot, I earned a lot of money, and already I discovered new countries, new ways, new materials. I earn money. When you travel, that's a good opportunity to improve your mind, improve your creativity. You make a lot, and you can catch and get new opportunities with some nice people, some like you. When we sit and talk, your mind just creating, spend. How to do it? Interior design is not just creativity. It's equal business. End of the day, you need to make money. How to make money? It depends about you. If you sit in your comfort zone and you say, I'm a talent, I have my own design, blah, 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 world, it's going fast. You have to learn more. You have to go by yourself. And I have a small story. I am graduation 1999. I went to college again to start studying business and management because I have a goal to run my own business, my own company. How can I run business without management? Management, it's very, very important because you have to deal with lawyer, finance, bank. You have to understand them, how to create or how to build factory, how to running your employee, how to running your colleagues, how to travel, how to control yourself, how to running yourself. So when I am focused to...
As creative people, one of the issues we have, one of the issues we have is how do we price our creativity? How do we price our services? And you know, the thing about it is that at the end of the day, everybody here expresses creativity differently, right? And so in some degree, some people will price it one way and some people price it another way. Obviously, there are conversations around pricing standardization, and I don't know if that is a thing and if that's even possible in the industry. But my question to you would be, what strategies have helped you to be able to charge what you're truly worth? You know, beyond, and I say this because I've had a lot of conversations with different interior designers, and a lot of them do markup plus professional fees. And when they do markup plus professional fees, it seems like a lot of that costing is dependent on items.
When it comes to pricing and charging, either from carcass level or just full furnishing. So it really depends, like I said, about the complexity of the project. However, there are percentages that we charge: project management, styling fee, the design fee, of course, which you charge at the design phase when you're coming up with the concepts and the ideas, your 3Ds and all of that. There is usually, for us, a percentage after we give the pricing of the 3Ds and the concept and the mood board. There's usually a percentage that we charge.
So when you were in year 2 and when you were in year 5, you weren't doing this, right?
Absolutely not.
So I'd love to know, at what point during your journey did you say, you know what, no more. I'm not working for change and peanuts anymore. And I've come to a realization to say, you know what, this is how I'm going to do it.
Absolutely.
And if you're in, come in. But if you're not, like,
Absolutely.
you know, the door is the other way.
I think I'll share a personal story. At the stage where I think I went as far as Ojodu. I didn't collect site visit or anything. And I went as far as Ojodu. Able to make money. No. I do feel that as an interior designer, there are phases and there are levels for projects. And for someone to come to you to help them make their lives better, they should be willing to understand that you will charge for that. So for every single stage, like the site visitation consultation, there's a charge. Design documentation, there is a charge. And then it comes to execution, there is a charge of the percentage of the total of the project, like project management, like I said to you, logistics and handling. There's so many things that interior designers leave. There's so many fees that we leave on the table. And it's so important for us to start to understand.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Yes, please. Let's give it. Ahmed, I want to direct that question at you as well. You know, I'd love to know how it's done in Egypt, you know. And what I'm talking about here is in terms of the different like revenue options that are available for interior designers in Egypt. So, she's spoken about like styling fees, project management fees, design fees, consultation and all of that. Are there others that she hasn't mentioned, and how do you guys do it over there? And it could also be how you do it in your studio.
Yes. Actually, I'm not doing any design for free. And this is my advice for everyone. You're learning and you're doing efforts for creative. Don't make any design for free. Even if for your relatives, he has to pay. Even if small money, he has to pay your effort, your creative. To study this kind of science, maybe I will learn something unique. I did. I went to Singapore and I studied feng shui. I used in my designs, and nowadays I have 6 diplomas for negative and positive energy. I had a TV show about positive and negative designs. In different way, I studied. I back again to pharaohs and Egyptian civilizations. I studied, I traveled inside, I went to temples, because this kind of science I discovered by Chinese in Egypt, because they give me a key. When I back to our civilizations, I found there is using a power. This using the positive for designing. It's very strange. We're not studying from beginning. I couldn't come here to renovate. I couldn't come here to renovate my villa. I feel bad in this villa. Let's do it good and suitable. Not because all the spaces touch your power. Touch your power. When you feel it, you can do it. So he sold this. When you feel it, you can do it. So he sold this villa, and we buy new villa for him. We buy new villa for him.
All right.
It's happened many times.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so I have a question for Daisy. Have you ever turned down a project before? Because it didn't align with you?
Asked me all sorts of questions, and then I told straight to his face, I was like, you think that you're here interviewing me, but I'm also interviewing you, because I don't know if you can work together. But he laughed. Had the audacity to say that. But I say that a lot because I want to make sure that it's going to be a long journey. This house, we're going to be working now. This is the first year. We have another year for this project. There's another house I'm doing as well in Banana that we're already 1 year into the project. We have at least another 10 months into that project. And in that case, it was the client that she interviewed me about 4 times. She said, I'm interviewing like different interior designers. I want to make sure that we can work together. And I love that. And then I think it was even from that interview with her that I started thinking more and more about, okay, who do I want to work with? And let me tell you something, it's not only the clients, it's your with. You can only give me a headache once. You are blacklisted immediately. So yes, I've been turning down a lot of projects. It's not, like I said, I'm not only going for the biggest budgets or the biggest clients. No, they have to value the service that I'm offering. They need to understand the kind of service I'm offering. And because Sandra comments about the proposal, already first red flag, second, third, you're out. Then I'm too busy, I can't take on. So, like them, I charge in different phases, so I can actually stop the project at any point, because we do in phases. Because guess what? Sometimes you can stop the job halfway. Because if you can see that trust is no longer there, the client is questioning things or not trusting you as a professional, not that you have given any reason. You know how it is. Sometimes they just, think, especially here in Nigeria, that they don't really trust the professionals. They also feel that they know everything. I've done a house before. I know they want to be, involved in certain things, and they'll be asking all sorts of questions. Like I say, I've fired clients before. So last year I fired one, this year I fired another one. I finished the phase I had to finish, and then I handed over and I said, listen, I don't think that we work well together anymore. I'm going to hand over to these parts, but I want to move on because on the things, if you don't allow me to do, I'm not gonna be able to give you my best if you keep interfering in stages and decisions and all of that's process basically. You don't know the structure. And I always say, I like to follow the structure I've presented to you as a proven successful structure and process. Why? That we can just stop at any time. Yes, and like I said, I don't have to do the entire project. Give the ones that you really trust me to do. If you feel that you have a cheaper vendor, your cousin has a furniture factory or whatever, knock yourself down. Go ahead. What do you want to give? What do you want to give? I've done the design. I don't charge for site visitation because I don't visit the sites. You give me your drawings. I give you my proposal. This is my and then if you like, but how do I know if well, check my portfolio. I also sent it. So you can check my portfolio. I've been doing this for 11 years. If you like my style, we can work together. I've prepared enough documentation to support everything for you to make a decision. So here's my proposal. Like I said, I don't visit. Share the drawings. And if you don't have drawings, you want us to go and take, then I send someone to go take mine alone, and then execution is a percentage on top of everything.
Unfortunately, our time is up.
Give me 1 minute because, question now for the culture here. When the customer coming to the designers, he's follow designer's idea, or he coming to the designer, I want to make like these pictures, I want like big pictures. They accept new idea or what?
Ideas,
That's
yes.
great.
To use that I'm a foreigner, that I have a advantage for being a foreigner. That's why I get jobs. Well, that maybe have worked for the maybe first year, second year, but I've been doing this for 11 years here. So, come on, give me some credits. Like, I've been working hard. And then, like I said, I also feel like I'm Nigerian. I've been living here for 15 years. I've started interior design really professionally here. I mean, my first business I started here. Do I feel that I have an advantage for being a foreigner? No. I mean, there's many interior designers, that's the ones that we are on the same level. And then, by the way, the clients that's hired me, especially now, they can afford any interior design in the world. Are we cheaper? Yes, absolutely. Comparing to the international markets, am I the cheapest in Nigeria? No. I'm very expensive perform. A lot of people think that I don't. So, like I said, the clients, they can actually afford an interior designer from anywhere in the world. So they can be any color. They can be from anywhere. So why do they choose me? Why they're interviewing me like 3-4 times? I'm not competing only with Nigerian interior designers. I'm competing with international interior designers. And the clients, they tell me. So maybe people say because they want to make themselves feel better. So that's the only thing I can think about, because you can justify that, well, I don't get the jobs that she gets because, I'm from here, they're not gonna give me the same, whatever, but it's not true. I'm from here, they're not gonna give me the same, whatever, but it's not true. Because clients give me the same hard time, so they know they're not only hiring me, they're hiring my entire team.
You take yourself outside of designing and structure your business properly to get what you want. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. We'll take it. Please. Let's have Dr. Jennifer join us upstage for a photograph. We're moving straight into the next panel session. After that, we have a fireside chat. Facts. Oh, we have a legal practitioner in our midst. Put your hands together for Daring Fagbore. This way, ma'am, please. She's a corporate lawyer and founder of In Black and White LP. She specializes in legal structure for startups and SMEs, like some of us here, ensuring creative businesses are protected and positioned for longevity. Thank you so much.
We're also going to be talking about how we're going to protect ourselves. So Daisy, after all, I paid you, you must. We're going to protect ourselves. So Daisy, after all, I paid you, you must complete it. And we are Nigerians, and some of us know how we are. So imagine you were the client and someone says, I'm stopping. How do you protect your business, protect yourself? So we'll be having these conversations. And then there's another conversation that we also need, which is positioning. How are you able to align clients to yourself? And what are you positioning for? What are you known as? Sandra said something. She said, what are you known as? Sandra said something. She said, we're excited to be here to moderate that session. So my first question is going to our dear host, Jennifer. Jennifer's been doing this for a long time. I have a confession. So when I started interior design, and they had brought in the MD for Pepsi. And one of the things he was talking about was value capture. And he said that for value capture, you want to be able to push down your supplier prices and you want to be able to increase your price, because at the end of the day, there's what the customer is willing to pay, but a lot of us don't know what that customer is willing to pay. And so we price ourselves out of fear, like at least last, let me get something, right? And so I'm talking from doing this 10 years, and I'm still crappy at it. So my question then is, with all of the experiences in the room that a lot of us have, a lot of people still struggle with how they price their services. Why do you think that is?
Okay, so thank you very much, and thank you for the kind words. So when it comes to pricing, you need to ask yourself, who is my ideal client? Some of you, to take for example, I use this example a lot. You're trying to do a quote for $10, for example. And now, when you do the total calculation, there has to be that, okay, at the end of the day, there's something that comes to you. Because there has to be that, okay, at the end of the day, there's something that comes to you. Because the truth is the markup is on that item. What comes to you, there has to be a margin, a profit. The markup is on that item. What comes to you, there has to be a margin, a profit margin. So from my total, what is the profit margin of the total that comes to me? So from my total, what is the profit margin of the total that comes to me as a business? Now, most of us also forget that when we're pricing, take for example, you put the cost of paint. You've forgotten you'll pay the painter. So you have forgotten that. You've forgotten logistics. So when you finish buying all the items and all that, and you're taking the payments for the artisans from your...
I paint with Dulux. She paints with Dulux. She paints with Dulux. There is a way... And branding is about perceived value, right?
Yeah.
It's about how people see you and how they feel when they see you.
Yeah.
There are certain people you cannot call certain amounts for.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There are certain brands that before you even approach them or try to figure out what the price is, you already have an idea of where to start from. And they perceive you to be maybe local, right? They're going to price you like Granot. But if they come to your page, in fact, Granot is also in grades. Because there's the one they hawk on the head. There's the one that they will put inside pack. Yeah, or makes them just place a figure on you and place a figure on what you are selling. It's nice to see Carol reach out to for certain projects when the money is not when the money is not plenty like that. And I just want to please just help me buy 2 chairs and paint the wall and this. Then there are those that I know I cannot approach like that because they have carried themselves in a different way. So to answer your question, yes, positioning affects perceived value. It affects the perception people have of you, and it affects how you will be priced. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so, Darren, this question's for you. You knew it was coming. So when you hear pricing, positioning, I feel like a lot of people in this room, they hear pricing, their ears are picked up. When they hear positioning, their ears are like, yes, pay attention. But when it comes to contract, which one do you feel like interior designers neglect the most? Like, which one do you think they're just like, I beg. Then they come and start sort of like making changes in between. You haven't necessarily like protected yourself, or you feel like, well, you haven't necessarily like protected yourself, or you feel like, well, there was that chart I sent to you that already said that I was going to do it like this. How do you speak to this, and what do you think we could do, especially because we're busy, we're juggling so many things, where we can protect ourselves in the midst of a lot of that busyness?
Okay, that's a lot. But the truth of the matter is, you can't be too busy not to have a contract, because an EFCC knocks on your door. You won't tell the EFCC officials you're busy, or you won't tell the law enforcement guys you're busy. So whatever has to be done, has to be done. And you shouldn't even be in business, transact business with anybody whatsoever without documenting the terms and conditions of that business or that transaction. And simply put, a contract doesn't necessarily have to be complicated, because I know when you hear the word contract, you think of many, many clauses, documents running into 40 pages. Contracts don't necessarily have to be complicated, but you must document electronic evidence permissible in law. So if you have a good lawyer, if there's any trouble at the end of the day, even if there was no contract, we would be able to sieve through the WhatsApp conversation and bring out the elements of the transaction. But the truth of the matter is, there are certain terms that you would have used to protect yourself that wouldn't definitely be in a WhatsApp chat, such as your intellectual property protection, such as the timelines for delivering on the agreement between the contract with your artisans. So if you have a confidentiality with $10 saying, I don't want anybody to see what's in my room, then you have one Oga Aziz that feels, we're in $10 house room. Then you have one Oga Aziz that feels, we're in $10 house, let's take pictures. Yep. If you didn't document that,
you cannot impress the terms and conditions of the project on the people working for you and hold them responsible for what they've done.
Sign contracts. So it can be as simple as letter of acceptance. Because now I've started catching them like that. There, you now say, oh, Jennifer, do you have another agreement to move on to the next space? So we also have to be very careful when it comes to dealing with family, friends, because sometimes you're like, it's my brother, it's my sister. So please do that. And even if you want to give a discount, it should be stated. Even if you want to do free for your church, let them know on a good day, what I would charge is this amount. However, it's on the house. But please, it should all be documented. Thank you.
Thank you so much for saying that. So one lawyer gave me an expo, and he told me that if the person fails to sign, it will also be termed as binding. So because a lot of times they will say they are busy, I've gotten your email, I saw it, I've looked at it, don't worry, let's just continue. So is that possible? Okay, if I'm a lawyer for the client, there are several defenses that I could put up that will stand in any court of law to throw your contract out and that document deeming having received it. But you know what? That takes you to ultimate level. Clients are extremely busy and it's going to be very difficult to get them to acknowledge that they have done that. And if you can, hopefully the transaction will go past payment. So once consideration has been exchanged, for instance, they've paid you, then you are safe on that side. So if they've paid you, it's deemed that, okay, you paid me based on these terms. Blurring the lines between personal and I'll follow my personal brand, or can they have two distinct personalities? So that's one part. The second part of the question is, and I know that a lot of interior designers have seen that. So we've had, I think about 2 call-outs on Instagram now, where they've called out interior designers on a project and said, oh, you were this. And they will now blast it and, publicize it. Insta blog, we carry it. This one we carry on social media, right? My question then is, when that has happened, how do you rebuild from that? How do you come from that again and put your head high up and say, I am a professional?
Brand and your corporate brand do not have to be identical. It's a personal decision, right? So if you have Virgin Atlantic, which is Richard Branson is fun, he's adventurous. You see that on the airline. You see that in their newsletters. You see that in everything that they do. British Airways, on the other hand, is British. They're very filling the blanks behind it, right? But they have said this the brand that the airline is going to have. And then we have, of course, tons of other airlines and all of that. So it's a personal decision for the entrepreneur to decide how identical the brands will be. If you have a board, for example, there are just different elements that can come into play with building a corporate brand. However, starting off the corporate brand breaking away, so don't beat your identity, right? Just have a long-term plan. Like, okay, in 5 years, we're going to review our colors and we're going to review our vision and our mission, or in 10 years, you know what I mean? But don't be too stuck up on that. However, just make sure you're showing up how you want to show up. Make sure you are owning your narrative. Nobody is controlling the narrative for you. Which that sometimes you acknowledge it. And for a business, right, it makes sense to acknowledge it, especially we make mistakes from time to time, right? They told you green chair, you did purple, and now you don't have the money to do the green again, and they've dragged you. It's okay to acknowledge the situation. It's okay, and you don't have to go into details. You can simply say, okay, we are aware that this is being discussed on social media. We're doing everything. Address those who have trusted you in the past. And then stay consistent. Don't now go and hide and distress. And then stay consistent. Don't now go and hide and disappear when there's fire, right? Don't go and hide in one corner and just not show up, because then that will be the last thing people remember of you.
continue with your business dealings. Continue with showing up, how you're going to the carpenter, and how you're going to the market, and everything that you're doing. Just be consistent. They would forget that story soon enough, right? And they would see inquiries, people knowing us better. And then invest in your brand. Investing means you are actually paying for certain things, right? I know that, again, entrepreneurship can be hard. Your money is stretched. That naira is stretched. But you can pay for a feature in a magazine. You can pay for a feature in a newspaper. I say Nigeria is one of the easiest places to build a brand. Internationally, in some countries, you have to pitch your story, right? You have to actually say, we're doing this and all of that. And then an editor somewhere will decide.
Grace, if I decide to copy Caroline, you will not work.
Thank you all very much, and that's the end of this panel session.
All right, so we're moving straight into the fireside chat. We already have our host on stage, so I'll just make welcome the moderator for this fireside chat. In the person of Dr. Carolina Hutchins, please put your hands together for her. She's a renowned media personality, actor, and entrepreneur, and she brings poise, empathy, and depth to every conversation. They're going to be speaking to balancing vision, profit, and team leadership. Yes, Dr. Jennifer will be sharing how she has built her businesses. And I assure you that this fireside chat is packed with practical advice.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My mentor, just in case you all did not know, this is my mentor and my teacher as well. I think before it is not easy to find women who would actually create an opportunity for other like to learn, to make profits, to actually tap into her, her box of secrets. So for her to curate this platform, she deserves a resounding round of applause. And we want to say a big thank you for letting us join you to shatter the glass ceiling. And may God continue to bless you. Thank you so much, everyone. So ours are designed to bring out your story while inspiring younger designers like myself to think bigger, lead better, and build sustainable, profitable, creative businesses. The journey so far. Dr. Jennifer, you've been in the design industry for years. From running Jennifer's Designs to find some of us did not know. globally.
So I think for me, like every other person here, we all started not studying interior design. Because number one, no university in Nigeria teaches interior design anyways. So we had people who had a passion for interior design, but just didn't realize, and they studied something else. So most of us, like myself, I finished, and there was no school in Nigeria to teach interior design. So what happens to you? Do you die with your passion? And I also noted that I also struggled when I started because finding the right people to tell you what, or advise you or tell you what to do and things like that, it was kind of difficult. Like Falakami said, it's always the grace of God, as if me, I don't have grace. So it was really frustrating. So for me, I think it's just trying to, so it's just putting myself in a situation and say, okay, in my own situation, this happened, and what can I do?
What inspired the vision behind the Blueprint Conference? And how has it evolved over the years? From the very first edition to this powerful 7th edition, we want to know all the nitty-gritties, the good, the bad. You can mention names of those two that really frustrated you. It's a call-out season.
Okay, so I'm laughing now because my brother just stared at me. And that's because... but for me, it was... I think it was just... I said here today, it's very intentional. There are people that were the first edition. So I also remember, I also reached out to Lagos State government. I was like, I don't even know how they entered their office in the first place. I did letter. And I went there and I remember someone say, do you have an appointment? I said, I don't have an appointment. Someone say, do you have an appointment? I said, I don't have an appointment. I just came to see somebody. So we just came in. We dropped our letter. I just came to see somebody. So we just came in. We dropped our letter. And the next thing I heard was, so I won't say the same cliche. Okay, I'll say grace of God. Say the same cliche. Okay, I'll say grace of God, but I don't want to say that. No, I want to say that, but it doesn't seem like, yeah. Yeah, so I think for me, it's having the right support system. So my husband is here, he's hiding. He always likes to hide.
A round of applause.
So he's there, Mr. Charles Chukwujakwe, he's at the back hiding. He always likes to hide, the one wearing white. So I'm saying, so what I mean is the right support system. So when I started, I'm sure they were wondering all that. But just having people understand that, okay, you're on a journey and you're on a path, and having people to support. Now, sometimes the support doesn't even have to be family. Sometimes it could be a friend. Sometimes, you can pay for support. So you need to do what you need to do. If you need to get a house, someone to take care of the house, you need to get a cook or whatever. But like I always tell interior designers, we work too hard. We need to be able to equate some things to cash and pay for some things so that you can achieve what you really want to achieve. Because the truth is, at the end of the day, when you come back, you're ranting. Honestly, I had to go and check out what interior design was all about. Then I started blogging. So people that don't know, I started as an interior design blogger. So I was blogging, and I was wondering that I will write, they'll be asking questions. I said, Meanwhile, I was responding based on when I got asked Google. I said, they said, if it's not red, which color should I put? So I did that. Then I now realized that, this seems to be like something that people were interested in. So I now decided to go study it and everything. So I studied that. So definitely I didn't start with a clear vision for the interior design company. When I progressed to having the school, I had a vision. Then it was clearer. I remember I got a space, and for 1 year, I didn't know what to do with the space. It was meant to be for a showroom, but I literally could not do anything in that space. And somebody it was a friend again that mentioned to me and said, we always talk about training. So why not just train? And that's how we converted a whole showroom to a training school. And that's how we started. But then
So my next question will be, many young designers start out full of ideas, but lose direction when faced with the realities of running a business. What advice would you give them about staying anchored to their why?
Be consistent, like I keep saying. Do you. People are watching, so just do you. And everything I've done and how far whatever it is that I've achieved, I was doing me. So like I tell my team members, I don't have competitors. When I mean I don't have competitors, like I don't want to get distracted with, I'm competing with this person. No, I just eyes on the goal and I just do me. So whatever it is that I do, it's me, right? So I would say, do you. People are watching, because even for the things that I've achieved, even as the president of IDAN, I was doing me. If you followed my campaign, you know I was not serious. I was dancing on Instagram and I was saying, vote for me. Beyond that. So it was just, do you understand? And I won. And the day I even won, I was doing COVID tests. So it's not like, do you understand? So, but like, what I'm saying is, just be you, be consistent. People are watching. Same way I became the president of the African Confederation of Interior Design. It was Ahmed that spoke to someone was it Morocco or Cameroon? About me. You spoke to Lenny, yeah. And, Cameroon. About me, they were looking for
a design ecosystem
there. How can we now help designers? So the question now is, okay, have a space where they can come, do their content, they can come have meetings, they can come learn, they can come do whatever it is that you want to do, okay? So for me, I think I come learn, they can come do whatever it is that you want to do, okay? So for me, I think I would just say I'm a problem solver and I just try to solve problems as they come. So bring it on, give me any problem, I'll solve it. Provided
Thank you.
is in the industry.
There's a round of applause. So we'll soon be having the design country.
That's what Design Village will eventually be.
So now we're going to be talking about
It will eventually be.
So now we're going to be talking about profits. This is the part I love the most. The business side of creativity. My next question, you often emphasize that interior is both an art and a business. What lessons have you learned about pricing, profits, and value that you wish you knew when you started?
What lessons have I learned when it comes to profit? Be under pressure to give a quote to a client. It's just for mental health and for my sanity. So when it comes to pricing, I'm one person, I don't want to rush into doing it. And I make sure that I try to dot my I's and to rush into doing it. And I make sure that I try to dot my I's and cross my T's, especially after I've been to court with daring, so lives and transforming lives and businesses. So that's it. So legacy for me is profitability. Because I know someday one person's gonna buy me a Range Rover in this crowd.
I will.
I know in my old age, I will not wait for my children alone. I will have so many children. Am I right?
I'm here. We're all here.
I was like, just say, oh, ma, he's doing me like this. Mama, tickets to, do you understand? So well, for me, it's, it's a legacy.
Thank you so much, Ma, for that answer. Now, many creatives, including myself, struggle with turning passion into profits, which is on a daily basis. What practices make their creativity sustainable and scalable?
I think it's first understanding that passion is 20%. Once you understand the business, then you can scale and you can be profitable. So I would say just understanding that you're an entrepreneur, you're not just
around pricing, clients, or finances, taught you an important lesson about profit and purpose.
So questions are getting hard.
Give us the gist and the secret, man.
So come again. So when it comes to profit, right?
So can you share a moment with a tough business decision, maybe around pricing, clients, or finances, taught you an important lesson about profit and purpose?
So it's having to decide, do I want to die or do I want to make money? So making that decision to drop a project that looks so very good. And at the end of the day, when I heard the gist about what happened to that person, I was very happy. So, it's just understanding that some projects are not for you, everything is not for you, and deciding what you want to do.
So I'm going to ask a question outside the questions that I have, and this is for. We still have more, ma. Let me go ahead. But this question is very important for new entrants. You know, I think I can call it a red ocean market. So being a red ocean market, it is not easy for new entrants to decide who to work with or who not to work with. This is a very, for new entrants. And you were saying if you look at even if there's profit, but you look at just like what Daisy said, if the person is not nice, don't work. The market can be very desperate, to be sincere. It's a very, very competitive environment for new entrants. What if new entrants, especially to keep their integrity and dignity, no matter how hard it is?
The truth is, at the end of the day, in the bid to want to do that project, just because, I need to make ends meet, and maybe you've quoted 50 million, and now you want to take 20 million, and you really know it's not going to do the project. At the end of the day, I've heard interior designers say things like, a client slapped me, but it was fine because I made so amount. So it doesn't actually make sense to me. So it depends on what you value. Yeah.
So my next set of questions is based on leadership. Building a great business also means building a great team. How did you learn to transition from doing everything yourself to leading others?
Okay, so I just say when it comes to leadership, just try to delegate. So delegate the things that you don't like doing. So for young interior designers, as you start, definitely you're the project manager, you're the site supervisor. You can just have someone on the project per project basis, one and a go. So yeah, I would just say delegate based on what you need.
What qualities do you look for when hiring team members or facilitators, especially in a creative industry where attitude and alignment matter as much as skill?
Attitude is important to me. So people that work with me know you can come, once you're teachable, I can hire you. If you have an attitude, you're off. I can ask you what book did you read? What was the last book you read? If you say, I don't read book, more. Once you're teachable and you have, character is important to me. Character is very important. So once you're teachable, you have a good character. Forget about the BSc. It doesn't work anymore.
Awesome. Character is key. So we all know leadership isn't always glamorous. Could you please tell us where and share with us your leadership challenges and what you have faced as you grew in it or grew through it?
I think for me, leadership challenge is leadership pain. It comes with the part where just do what you need to do, give your all. If anything happens, it happens, and just keep moving. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. How do you maintain your team's... Let me go to the next one. Balance and personal growth. So I'm going to ask you 3 more questions and we're done because we have like 7 more.
Oh, wow.
So I'll ask 3 more.
Okay.
Sweetheart, we need to learn. It's not easy. Wellness and peace.
So for me, mental health is very important. And I think for someone who has gone through an issue before, so there was a time I had a stroke. That was when my child was 5, so that's years ago. I think that was another comeback for me. So my mental health is very important. Sometimes my staff will see me and say, hey, excuse me, we need to do something. I say, I'm not around. Can you see me? I'm literally standing in front of you, but you cannot come and kill me. I can't come and die, right? So it's just for your sanity. You need to prioritize yourself, yeah.
To you and myself.
Okay.
You are known for blending creativity, excellence, and faith in your work. How has your faith shaped your leadership style and business philosophy?
Okay, so yeah, I am nothing. Everything I do is centered around God. I don't take it for granted. I don't apologize for it. Even this morning while I was getting ready, my makeup artist was doing my makeup and I said, sorry, it's time to worship. She said, eh? I put a worship song and I was worshiping. As I was worshiping, I was crying. She said, hey. We did like 2 hours because the more she was doing the makeup, the more. So what? I was worshiping from a place of gratitude. So just understanding that you're nothing without God. So for me, faith is very important, and that summarizes collaboration. And that's why we have. I haven't achieved anything myself without collaborations. The amazing speakers here, panelists, is all collaboration. My school, everything I've done is collaboration. So I would say I see Africa. One day I should be able to go to Egypt and do a project. Ahmed should be able to come to Nigeria and do a project. We should be able to bring Egypt, South Africa that we have. It's not even the kitchens that, like on a good day, when you finish doing that kitchen, you know you cannot pound yam inside. So can we now begin to think Africa and see how we can, and through, partnerships like that, yeah. Yes, that's, so those are things.
A round of applause for that
So he brought news from me from Egypt. So one of the oldest schools in Egypt want to partner with us. So I'm excited. We've had partnerships with universities in South Africa, Kenya. So we're looking at doing lots of is the future. We need to take it, and we need to take it from here, especially Nigeria. We need to take over the world. So, and we have to do it through design. Thank you very much.
My final question. Final question,
Okay.
ma'am. Apologies, my darling man. Finally, Dr. Jennifer, what legacy do you want to leave?
She transformed lives, not necessarily on the pulpit, but through design. Because like I always tell people, you don't have to be a minister in church to transform lives. I can transform lives in the marketplace. So I would say I'm the minister in the marketplace. And so the legacy is that she transformed my life. Because for me, do you know the joy I get when I see people have trained. See people like you now. See for Lakemi. Like, do you understand? And like, I'm good with that. So yeah, that's important.
On that note, I will plead that you sit down while we all stand up and say thank you and round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can keep clapping while probably she gives us keynote speech and I step down. Let's keep clapping. Let's keep encouraging her. Next year is better. Photos.
So I would like to have, she's hiding her face, Teju on stage with me, Mr. Akin on stage, Moji, me, Daisy, who else is here? Please join us on stage. Let's take a good picture. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you. Oh, architect, please come up. Thank you very much. Thank you.
While the photo is up, is going on, please remember to pick up your Uzo Living products just right outside by Dr. Jennifer herself. Is a faith-inspired brand. So we have, understand, thank you. Can we have someone help us adjust this? Can we have someone help us adjust this so they can have a proper... Where are your... Are you good? Okay. You can move it. Thank you to all our speakers. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
What do you think? Can we take a picture of all of us? Okay, so how do we do this now?
Can we rise, please, everyone? Please, let's all rise. Let's all rise. Say Blueprint Conference. Woo! Okay, let's take that again. Blueprint Conference, transforming lives. So I'm going to say Blueprint Conference, you echo, transforming lives. Can we take that? 2, 3, 1, go. Blueprint Conference. Let's see the energy. Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just vote of thanks. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. I truly appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. And to my husband, Mr. Charles, I know you want to run. Please, can you join me in giving him a round of applause? Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being there, because I am not easy to manage, if I say so. I can't marry myself. No, I can't marry myself. But thank you very much, and we do appreciate you. Okay, so we're rounding up now. So thank you very much. I hope it was worth your time. Okay, so for those who don't know, we just partnered with an international exhibition called Deco Expo. It's happening on the 19th to 21st of November. So Deco Expo is an international exhibition that brings in exhibitors from Turkey, China, different parts, Egypt, and all that. So we're also having exhibitors from Nigeria. So if you're interested in exhibiting, please reach out to me. So that's what we're doing next, okay? So it's a strategic partnership, and we're the exclusive partner in Nigeria. So I'd love to see all of you. Not to worry, it's free to attend, so you don't have to pay to attend that one. So it's on the 19th to 21st at Landmark, and so I hope to see all of you there again. So thank you very much for your time, and see you next year. DJ, music. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen,
did you enjoy yourself? I can't hear you. Did you enjoy yourself? Did you get value from this conference? What do we say to Dr. Jennifer? We will not only say thank you, we'll say we love you too. So can we do that? What do we say to Dr. Jennifer? We love you. Thank you so much for putting this together. And we look forward to Blueprint Conference 2026. Who is looking forward to that? Thank you. And it was such a pleasure being your master of ceremonies today. Enjoy the rest of
Sweet Fanta Diallo, I know fit forget you. If I speak English, you cho no walking. I know I'll punish you. I want to punish you. If you see my baby, you go shut up. I'm gonna get too fine. Hope you make up. Yeah, baby, lie down, no. Finish work for me, oh. Oh, tomato. Put that thing back, oh. Too short to my gbemi debe o. Too short you walk on my debe o. Straight forward I no get to kill it. Go yeah yeah o, go say pe o. 247 me a day yeah o. You know strong make you dey for day care o. Mungo na ori mi dey there o. Can't pe o. Ojuro can't pe o. O ti pẹ́ tí mo ti sanle o. I've been active ajá mi sáré o. Sáré o. Mo gbé wọn sáré o. Ẹ̀yin tèmi ẹ jẹ́ ká jayé o. Ayé kan ló wà kó sáyé o. Oh man, I'm active. Oh man, I'm active. Oh man, I'm active. Oh man, I'm active. Ah yeah, this shit. Left your section of kind of shit. That ain't your bitch, that's bitch. You don't like it, you can suck dick. I just hopped off from the BJ, from the edge to occasion. Got a fetish for the money, yes sir. If she thick, then I wanna pay her. 3 more naira, do an Asian. And I'm outside with the tribe. Gang activity outside. Please believe I done seen the other side. Remember, all we had to be was alive. Now I got 20 V's in garage. Each house, beach house, overseas and alive. That was 30 MGs, every P I prescribe. You can see it in my eyes. Don't bother me, I be in the streets on 10 when I'm out.
Okay, please remember to follow at JSEDNG on social media. Remember to follow these social media handles at Blueprint Conference, at Design Biz Coach, at Africa. Please remember to follow on Instagram, going around, connecting. Remember to follow these handles. Social media. Okay, at J said JAIDNG. At J said NG. At Blueprint Conference on Instagram. At Design Bees Coach. Design Bees, B-I-Z, Coach. At AFCID Africa, AFCID Africa. Remember to visit our sponsor stand. We have LG. We have Alumax. We have Deluxe. And please, while you post your photos and videos from this event, feel free to use the hashtag Blueprint Conference. Hashtag Blueprint Conference. Again, the social media handles to follow at JSED. That's Jenny's School of African Interior Designers NG. At Blueprint Conference. At Design Bees Coach. At AFCID Africa.
I don't feel like man, I'm wasted, and I'm feeling reckless. Now buy like a latest. That's why I'm working on patience. I know they joke with my paycheck. If then they sleep with them, wake them. So we'll go vibe tonight. Come on, day, babe. Kiss it, baby, kiss it. How many times they go tell the person? They know they pay to the any lesson. Shama, baby, they baby. And it's a vibe anytime we did it. I no get time, I no get patience. Spreading money plenty. Kiss it, baby, kiss it. How many times they go tell the person? They know they pay to the any lesson. Shama, baby, they baby. And it's a vibe anytime we did it. I no get time, I no get patience. Spreading money plenty.
Spyro, not only me, my life. See as we day like beans and rice. I will never leave your side. I will never ever go. I dedicate my time to you, my guy. Even if the road is rough, I don't mind. 'Cause you be my G for life. Yeah, I'm feeling good tonight. 'Cause I did here with my guys. I got plenty for my mind, but right now I'm with my guys. I know they fear them got my back. So you don't see my formation. I call out big combination. Steady inspiration. I'm 100 concentration. When my guys them roll over, far energy far away. I thank God for my beauty. Good friends don't be money. Who's your guy? Not only me, my life. See as we day like beans and rice. I will never leave your side. I will never ever go. I dedicate my time to you, my guy. Even if the road is rough, I don't mind. 'Cause you be my G for life.
I must tell my mommy for ya. For the little things you they do, where they make me go low. Say you love me for your color. 'Cause the way you don't go, you don't clear, you don't do me bubble. I won't care. I go run away from love. I won't care. You don't finish me with love. Okay, your body fire, bro. Oh baby, why not, Joe? I did your matter, your body not chairman, I know ya go. Say why? The fire, bro. Oh, then pay why not, Joe? Good body like Coco Joe. Yeah, you bust my head and I look good, Joe. what you used to. I'ma show you love from the new school. And it's not what you think about. And I'ma show you how that we move around. Oh, they've been trying to get to me. Freedom is my remedy. Oh, they've been trying to get to me, but they never get far. Said she want to be my baby. Said she want to be my lady. Oh, said she want to be my baby. Said she want to be my lady. Oh, be my baby. Said she want to be my lady. Oh. This kind of love, not sweet your love. And I didn't knock you for your door. Oh, baby, make it for some more. I won't care. I go run away from love. I won't care. You don't finish me with love. Okay, your body fire, bro. Oh, baby, why not, Joe? I did your matter, though. Your body not chairman, I lawyer, bro. See why? Fire, bro. Orin.
For this time, now we did also the Wakama. When we maps, we didn't know say who's a Madeline. Now we did parabolic for this time, now we did also the Wakama. Be sharp. When we maps, now we the full inside the background. News guy, blow trumpet, papa, down my way, be repass, start to mash up. Okay, then I see who's a Madeline. Landed the ball like Casimiro. The ladies see me, they shot to you. Bluetooth, but president, you. When we enter, I'm a verb, me fans,
Hey, please can we have all the volunteers on stage to have a photo with Dr. Jennifer? All volunteers, please let's have you on stage. All staff members. All staff members of JSED, please come up stage. Let's take a photo with Dr. Jennifer. Every staff of JSED.
For club, then no go force you to dance. You go move your body as fast in a banger for banger. For me distance, you go feel it alright. You want a chance me, I beg good with this bastard. That's a movie, you know if you sorry please, and we got to go faster.
Let them know say who's a madi around. When ladies see me, they run around. Me they be like 7 gram of canal. I did with Charlie Zeri and Tega. New Jaja Balenciaga. Always rocking Bottega Veneta. CDOS for no batatata. I look with the money food like that. In our shop, Wala, when we mad, make them know say who's a Madeline. Now we the parabolic for this time. Now we the rest of the